The Jewish lineage of Christians in Kerala, a historical and cultural exploration. The Jewish lineage of Christians in Kerala, often referred to as the Nazrani or Syrian Christians, is deeply rooted in the cultural and historical interactions between early Jewish communities and St. Thomas, the apostle of Jesus, who is believed to have arrived in Kerala in 52 CE. This lineage is supported by a combination of anthropological, archaeological, and historical evidence, revealing the unique fusion of Jewish and Christian traditions in the region. Jewish communities were among the earliest settlers in Kerala, arriving as traders and merchants during the time of King Solomon, 10th century BCE, or shortly after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. These Jews were known as the Malabar Jews or Kottayam Jews and established flourishing trade relationships with local Indian rulers and traders. They built synagogues, maintained their Torah scrolls, and lived in distinct communities, especially in areas like Kottayam, Cranganore, Cochin, and Palayur. According to tradition, St. Thomas visited Kerala and preached the teachings of Jesus to the Jewish communities and local people. Many Jewish families converted to Christianity while retaining elements of their Jewish heritage. St. Thomas is said to have established 7 churches in Kerala, including ones at Kottayam, Palayur, and Nilakal, which became centers for the early Christian community. The Nazrani Christians preserved Jewish customs such as observing the Sabbath, using Jewish terminology in liturgy, and practicing certain dietary laws. Their liturgical practices, particularly in the Syriac language, were influenced by the Jewish synagogue traditions, indicating their Jewish roots. Oral traditions among Syrian Christians recount that certain prominent Jewish families converted to Christianity under the influence of St. Thomas, while others chose to remain Jewish. This dual existence fostered mutual respect and cultural blending. These early converts formed the nucleus of the Christian community in Kerala, which later expanded to include local Indian converts. Studies on the genetic composition of the Nazrani Christians reveal markers that link them to Middle Eastern populations, particularly Jews. The Nazranis often refer to themselves as sons of Israel, highlighting their perceived connection to Jewish ancestry. Several Nazrani Christian practices resemble Jewish customs, such as use of a canopy like a Jewish chuppah in marriage ceremonies, observance of festivals resembling Jewish feasts, such as Pesach, Passover, where unleavened bread is prepared, the importance of genealogical records and family lineage, a hallmark of Jewish culture. The Paradesi Synagogue in Mattancherry, Cochin, is a surviving remnant of the Jewish presence in Kerala, built in 1568, though evidence suggests much older synagogues existed in places like Kottayam. Historical accounts describe ancient synagogues that may have been sites of interaction between Jews and early Christians. Archaeological findings of Syrian Christian crosses in Kerala suggest a blending of Jewish and Christian symbols. For instance, the St. Thomas cross features motifs resembling a menorah and other Judaic symbols. The Thomas Christian copper plates, ca. 9th century CE, document grants given to Christian communities by local rulers, highlighting the integration of Jewish Christians into Kerala's socio-political fabric. The Jewish copper plates from 10th century CE confirm the presence of organized Jewish settlements in Kerala, which likely overlapped with early Christian communities. Tamil Sangam literature, circa 3rd century BCE 3 RD century CE, mentions foreign traders, including Jews, interacting with South Indian kingdoms. These interactions facilitated cultural exchanges and may have laid the groundwork for Jewish Christian communities. Kottayam, an ancient port city, was a significant hub for Jewish settlers and early Christian converts. This region is believed to be the starting point of St. Thomas's mission. The Jewish Christian communities assimilated into Kerala's caste-based society, adopting certain local customs while preserving their unique religious identity. St. Thomas's preaching to the Jews in Kerala aligns with the biblical narrative of Jesus instructing his apostles to gather the lost sheep of Israel, Matthew 10 verse 6. The Jewish Christians of Kerala saw themselves as fulfilling the messianic prophecy, bridging the Old and New Covenants. Early Jewish Christian communities in Kerala believed they were part of the spiritual reunification of the dispersed Israelites, a theme central to Jesus' teachings. The Syrian Christians of Kerala continue to identify with their Jewish Christian heritage, maintaining traditions that reflect both Jewish and early Christian influences. They celebrate Pesach, Passover, with rituals that include preparing unleavened bread, a tradition unique to Kerala Christians. The historical coexistence of Jews and Christians in Kerala serves as a testament to the region's pluralistic ethos and its role as a melting pot of cultures and religions. The Jewish lineage of Kerala Christians is an intricate tapestry woven from centuries of trade, cultural exchange, and religious transformation. Anthropological and archaeological evidence strongly supports the Jewish roots of the Nazrani Christians, linking them to the biblical narrative of the scattered children of Israel. St. Thomas's mission to Kerala not only spread Christianity but also brought the scattered lambs of God into the fold, creating a unique community that continues to cherish its Jewish Christian heritage. The land of Ophir is mentioned multiple times in the Bible as a region of immense wealth and significance. Known for its gold, precious stones, and fine resources such as ivory, sandalwood, and spices, Ophir is cited primarily in connection with King Solomon, who sent ships to Ophir to bring back vast treasures for the construction of the temple in Jerusalem. 1 Kings 9 verses 28 and 1 Kings 10:11, 2 Chronicles 8 verse 18. Scholars and historians have debated the location of Ophir, with some proposing regions like Africa, Arabia, and India, specifically Kerala on the Malabar Coast, due to its rich trade history and resources described in the biblical texts. The history of Jewish settlement in Kerala dates back thousands of years, potentially to the time of Solomon's maritime expeditions. Jewish traders are believed to have reached the Malabar Coast, attracted by the flourishing spice trade, particularly in pepper. Over time, these Jewish communities established themselves in Kerala, living peacefully and integrating into the local culture while preserving their religious identity. Jewish merchants were instrumental in the ancient Indian Ocean trade network, exchanging spices, ivory, and textiles for gold and other goods. This vibrant trade fostered settlements in areas like Kottayam, Cranganore, which became a hub for Jewish merchants. The Cochin Jews, one of the oldest Jewish communities in the world, claim their ancestry from these early settlers. The arrival of Jewish communities predates Christian missionaries and Islamic traders, making Kerala a significant site for Jewish history in India. Jewish settlers maintained synagogues, scriptures, and their religious practices, creating a distinct identity in Kerala while also influencing the region's cultural fabric. According to Christian tradition, St. Thomas, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus, traveled to India to preach the gospel. His mission was significant not only in spreading Christianity, but also in reaching out to the abandoned and scattered lambs of God, a phrase often interpreted as a reference to the lost tribes of Israel or the Jews who were dispersed after historical exiles and conquests. Jesus explicitly stated, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel," Matthew 15 verse 24. St. Thomas, as one of his apostles, carried forward this mission, potentially focusing on Jewish settlements that were scattered and in need of reunification with the divine promise of the Messiah. The presence of established Jewish communities in Kerala could have made the region a key destination for St. Thomas. It is believed that he arrived in Kottayam, which was a center of trade and Jewish settlement, to preach the message of Jesus. His teachings would have resonated with the Jewish population, emphasizing Jesus as the fulfillment of the messianic prophecy. St. Thomas's mission in Kerala left a lasting impact, with traditions stating that he established 7 churches in the region and converted several Jewish and local families. These early Christian communities became the Syrian Christians of Kerala, also known as St. Thomas Christians. His martyrdom near Malabar, Chennai, further cemented his legacy as the apostle who brought Christianity to India. The mission of Jesus and St. Thomas symbolized the spiritual restoration of God's people, fulfilling prophecies about the Messiah gathering the scattered children of Israel, Isaiah 11 verse 12, Ezekiel 37 verse 21. The biblical land of Ophir and the Jewish settlements in Kerala are deeply intertwined with the trade, migration, and spiritual missions of ancient times. St. Thomas's visit to Kerala reflects the broader mission of Jesus to reach the scattered tribes of Israel and unite them under the promise of salvation. This convergence of Jewish, Christian, and Indian traditions created a unique historical and spiritual legacy that continues to shape the identity of Kerala.